Good morning, my friends. Today is the first day of the challenge. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I have just a bunch of feelings. I'm just super excited. So it's time for breakfast and I'm really hungry. So I want to show you what I'm going to make for breakfast. This is going to be my breakfast for 3 of the 5 mornings. It's going to be oatmeal. So instead of dragging out everything 3 different mornings, I'm just gonna make it all right now. And oatmeal reheats great. One of the biggest tips that I can give you guys if you're trying to stretch your food budget is if for some reason you have an aversion to leftovers, you gotta get over it. Like you gotta do what you gotta do to get over it, because leftovers are your best friend, especially if you're putting leftovers in the fridge and then they're just going bad and you're throwing it out. That is money that you are just throwing out the window. So let me get this cooking. So 1.5 cups of old-fashioned oats. I am putting this in my pot. I already measured it out. Here is a big secret that I do for my oatmeal. If you use what the package of oatmeal says as far as a liquid, if you had 1/2 cup of oats, you would use 1 cup of liquid. I am going to significantly increase that, and I am going to just cook this low and slow, and you are gonna see the magic of this. I got this idea from, she goes by Hungry Girl on social media and stuff. She has many cookbooks that she has published, and she calls it growing oatmeal. And this is gonna give me way more food in one sitting than I would have if I did the 1/2 cup to 1 cup of liquid. So I have my 1.5 cups of oats. I'm actually gonna put 6 cups of water in this pot. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of liquid. And I'm gonna turn this on and we're just gonna let it go. So I'm gonna add some salt, a little bit of salt, because that's going to bring out the flavor. I'm going to add lots of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. Like you literally can't have enough cinnamon flavor. I'm going to add some nutmeg and a little vanilla because, you know, spices, I can use my spices in this challenge. Vanilla, and I'm gonna add some sweetener, but I'm gonna wait a minute to do that. Let me give this a stir, and like I said, I'm just gonna cook this low and slow. It's gonna take like at least 15 minutes to cook. So, you know, I wouldn't be doing this when you're in a super big hurry, but if you can make it ahead of time, and like I said, just put it in the fridge, it's super easy. One thing that normally when I make my oatmeal, I use not many more ingredients than this, but I definitely use more ingredients than this. And I have a secret ingredient that I use in my oatmeal. I will link the video to that in the description box below. Normally I would use 1/2 water and 1/2 almond milk. I do have almond milk as one of my ingredients for this 5 days, but I don't have enough to actually cook the oatmeal with the almond milk, but I will use some of the almond milk to top my oatmeal. So then what I'm going to do is I have 1 banana that I bought, and I'm going to cut this in thirds, and I'm going to use 1/3 of it each morning that I have my oatmeal. So I want to talk about a couple of things while this is cooking, you know, because my hope isn't just to show you, you know, oh yeah, this girl bought, you know, a few groceries and made it last. Like I really do want to give you some tips and some tricks to help your food budget stretch, because as we all know, prices are going through the roof. So this morning I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and what will happen to me sometimes if I wake up to go to the bathroom is my brain just like starts going like crazy and I can't go back to sleep. And what I realized is that happens to me quite a bit. Like I'm usually up by 5 for sure, but sometimes it's crazy early like today. And I will get up if I can't shut my brain back off, and I'll come down and I'll have something to eat. And I started to think about how often I'm doing that. So basically, because then I still eat regular breakfast at around 8, but I'm having like this pre-breakfast, and it's happening more than I think I realized. So not only is that not a good idea financially, to stretch my groceries, but weight-wise, it's not a good idea. I don't need to be eating 2 breakfasts. So I think I'm going to be a lot more aware of that over this next 5 days. And I think as time goes by, I think I'm going to feel how much of a habit that has become. And I am definitely realizing that I need to break that habit. Just eating for reasons other than hunger. I think I am probably also going to see that I eat a lot out of boredom. And it's not that I don't have anything to do, but it's just kind of like, oh, the thought comes into my mind like, oh, I should have a snack. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And I just go have a snack. And I really need to stop and evaluate, how hungry am I really? Sometimes it's like an hour before dinner and I'm eating a snack, but then I'm still eating dinner an hour later and I'm not really even that hungry. I really need to break out of that habit. So that was a thought that I wanted to share with you. Just eating for this goes into like emotional eating because we're happy and we're celebrating. I mean, it could be like a bunch of different things. So I just want you to think about that, be aware of that, and maybe evaluate what you do. And another thing I wanted to talk about is when you go grocery shopping. So we've all heard, don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry, right? We know that that's a bad idea. We end up buying a bunch of stuff that we shouldn't be buying. And so one thing that I want to suggest, and something that I have really gotten into doing, is doing like Walmart pickup. And this has been, I love Walmart pickup, and I know some people hate Walmart, and I get it, but all I have to do is spend $35 or more, and I click in my phone in the app what I need, and then they bring it to my car. And it keeps me from I'm not seeing any of this stuff in the store, so it's keeping me from buying all the junk. So speaking of being in the store, because maybe you like going grocery shopping, I actually have heard people that say that, oh, I don't want to do pickup because I actually like shopping. That's great if you like doing that. What I want you to keep in mind, and this is not so much the money aspect of it, but just the health and your weight aspect of it, is that you only need to say no to it one time in the store, but if you buy it and you bring it home, you have to say no to it over and over and over again. And I don't remember where I saw that or heard that, but that has stuck with me because it is so true. How many times have I bought something at the store and then I get it home and I'm like, oh, I never should have bought that. I can't eat that. But I'm not going to throw it out because that just doesn't seem like a good idea. So I just literally have to fight eating it over and over again until my family members eat it. I throw it out, or let's be honest, what happens a lot of times, I end up eating it, right? Because my willpower just gets broken down after trying to say no over and over and over. So keep that in mind when you go to the store, and not only will that help your budget, but that will help your waistline as well. So I am going to let this oatmeal continue to cook, and I will come back when it's done. I'm going to taste it because I've never really had it made this, we're going to say like, let's call it rustic, because that's kind of like an in word to use. So I will come back and I will try this, and I will show you how much I get from having used all of that liquid. So I will see you back here in just a few. Okay, I am back with the cooked oatmeal. Now let me say, it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take to cook. I cooked it on the stove for about 25 minutes, and then I let it sit in the pot for another 10. So normally it would not take that long. I did end up adding some of this Swerve brown sugar into it. I did about 1/4 of a cup for the whole pot because I'm gonna put in that 1/3 of a banana, so that will give me a little bit of sweetness. And I am gonna top it with some of my almond milk from the Dollar Tree that I got. And even though I got the unsweetened, I still feel like it's a little bit on the sweet side. So I just thought that 1/4 of a cup for the pot would probably be good. You guys are not gonna believe how much oatmeal. So I'm gonna show you. So what I have here is I've got 2 containers for what I'm gonna put in the fridge. And then I have got my bowl for what I'm going to eat this morning. This is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. And I'm gonna just start evenly portioning this out into these containers. Whoops. I gotta look back. So I'm just gonna do a 1/2 cup in each thing, and then I'm gonna do it again until it is gone. Okay, so I can see that I may not have big enough containers for what I need to store in the fridge. So I'm on, this is now 1 cup of cooked oatmeal that I'm doing. And I'm gonna say there's definitely gonna be enough to do that again. Oh, it's up to the very top. Okay, that one's all right. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to actually just, because we're not wasting anything, there's just a little titch more in the bottom of this pan. So I'm gonna put that in my bowl. So I have 1.5 cups of cooked oatmeal in each one of these containers. That is a huge bowl, a huge bowl. So I am going to, so let's do this. So here is my banana that I cut up into small pieces. And I'm gonna start with just a 1/4 cup of the almond milk. Obviously, I'm not putting any of these toppings on the ones that I'm putting in the fridge. So I'm gonna do 1/4 of a cup. Let's give it a stir. My bowl, you guys, is almost overflowing. I'm not even joking. Like, I have to be careful when I'm stirring this because it's totally gonna spill out of my bowl. This is so, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to eat all of this. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you know that I've had gastric bypass surgery done. I'm 5 years out, so you'd be surprised at how much food I can eat in a sitting, but I don't know that I'm gonna be able to eat all of this because this is a huge bowl of oatmeal. All right, let's take a bite. See if I need to adjust anything. I'm so hungry. I think I'm actually going to use a little more sweetener. And I'm going to do a little more cinnamon. And I think that it's going to be actually really good, considering that this was, what was it? Let me tell you. This was $1.68 worth of oats divided by 3. I cooked it with water. I mean, there's a titch of almond milk on here. There's 1/3 of a banana. The banana cost me 21 cents. This breakfast is literally like 75, 80 cents, I think, for one breakfast. And it's so much. So, yay, first meal turned out really good. And now the other 2 oatmeal breakfasts that I'm gonna do, I won't have to cook. I'll just have to cut up my banana and do a little almond milk on top. So hey, that's good. So I will be back here at lunchtime to show you what I'm gonna do for lunch. and I think I'm gonna go enjoy my breakfast, so we'll see you guys in a while. Hello, my friends, I'm back, and it is almost lunchtime, so I need to get cooking because I am getting hungry. So what I'm going to make for lunch is a chicken rice soup. One thing that I forgot to mention in these videos so far is that when I'm doing this 5-day challenge, I will be doing a mix of S and E meals, and I will have a fuel pull snack in the afternoon every day. So generally, I have a meal template that I use that helps me so that I don't have to stop and think every day, breakfast, do I want S, E, lunch, S, E, is there enough time in between if I'm gonna switch? I made up this template so that I don't have to think about those type of things. So that is what I ended up doing for this challenge as well. And I did make I did do a video on meal planning and the, let's say this, menu planning and the meal template. So I can put that in the description box below because it's really handy. What I'm putting in this pot is onion, which I'll talk to you about in a second, carrots and celery, and I am going to let that just start to cook up for a minute. So anyway, if I eat an S breakfast, I will usually eat an S lunch, then I will have a fuel pull snack between lunch and dinner, and then I will have the opposite fuel for dinner, which in this example would be an E, and then I would have an E snack after dinner, or I would flip it. If I have an E breakfast and lunch, fuel pull snack, I would have an S dinner and an S snack. So that's what I'm going to do for this challenge. So I had my oatmeal this morning for breakfast, which was an E, which was super filling. I did eat the whole thing. I was so hungry. So super filling. And this soup, chicken rice soup, is going to be an E as well. So then what I'll do is have my fuel pull snack between lunch and dinner, and then I will switch and I will have an S dinner and an S snack. So I wanted to make sure that I told you that. Okay, a couple other things that I want to mention while this is just cooking up a little bit is I did some more prep of my vegetables because I needed to make sure that I had veggies for this soup, veggies for another meal that I'm going to make, and then I wanted to see if I would have any wiggle room for snacks. So here's what I ended up doing. Okay, so this is gonna be really interesting. I bought a whole thing of celery. If you watched my grocery haul video, you saw I had a whole package of celery. I'm not a huge celery fan. It's fine in this soup, it's fine if it's in a casserole or whatever, but to just eat it, like even when I was a kid and you would have like the ants on a log, I didn't like that. So after I cut up my celery for this soup and for my other meal that I need it for, I had a lot of celery left, and I wasn't super keen on just munching on raw celery sticks. So Pinterest, which is a very good friend of mine, I went on and I just looked up, I think, I'm trying to think exactly what I searched, recipes for leftover celery, I think. And one recipe that I found, she actually took celery sticks, put some oil on them, and seasoned them and roasted them in the oven. And she was calling them celery fries. You guys, I'm totally doing that for my dinner tonight. I was going to have some cooked zucchini with my dinner, actually tonight and tomorrow night. But if I can make these fries, because look, this is what I have. Like, this bag is so full, I can't even get it shut. So if I can make these celery fries and they turn out good, then I can have that with my dinner, and then I can save my zucchini for like so many other things, because you guys saw I got 2 zucchini in my grocery haul, and then I got that free zucchini at church yesterday. I have a lot of zucchini. So I might add some to this soup. I could have some as a snack. I have like a panini press thing that I could make some. I mean, I'm thinking, right? The wheels are turning on what I can do with all of this zucchini. So I'm excited about these celery fries. I know that that's really weird and it's not anything I've ever heard before, but I'm excited about it. Okay, so one thing that I want to make sure I tell you, just in complete transparency, I forgot to get an onion. Now, I could have gone without an onion, but because I only spent $24.05, I figured that I could use a small onion that I already had in my pantry, and I still would not be over my $25 total. So I took an onion, I cut it up, I put half of it in this pot, I have the other half in this bag for another meal. I also had celery and carrots cut up for another meal. Whoops. I also grated some carrot because on my breakfast days, I'm going to have eggs and vegetables, kind of like an omelet. And I wondered if maybe I could trick my brain into thinking I had some cheese. So anyway, it's not a lot in here, but I did grate some carrot. And then I still have all of this left. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. It's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Like, I'm not gonna go hungry. I'm not gonna go hungry. I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried about it before I did this. I'm thinking, like, I don't want to walk around starving all day, and I'm absolutely not going to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish sauteing this up. This is the rest of my rice. I cooked 1 cup of rice in my Instant Pot the other day. That's in the fridge. This is my other 1 cup because I only had 2 cups total. I'm gonna add this into my pot. I have my chicken broth that I made from when I took apart that whole chicken that I bought at Sam's and I boiled the bones. So I have that broth. I'm also gonna use that for this soup. It's probably not gonna be super strong chicken flavor, so I am gonna add some chicken bouillon cubes to this, and I will definitely add some water because this broth will not be enough. And then I have 2 cups of white meat chicken that I already diced up that I'm going to be putting in here as well, but I'm not gonna add that right away just because it's gonna take a while for the rice to cook. So I didn't wanna, I don't know, maybe I'll add it in, probably doesn't matter. So I'm gonna get this soup going, may or may not add some zucchini when it gets close to the end of cooking, but I will come back when this is done and I will let you know how it came out. This soup, actually, I am eating once a day, every day of this challenge. We talked about, guys, leftovers, I'm telling you, and plus it makes it easier that you cook once and then you eat on it multiple times. So once again, I want to just encourage you, if you think that you do not like leftovers, stop and think about why that is. Did somebody in your childhood like force you to eat leftovers of foods that you didn't like? Maybe you got sick from it or something like that. Like, really stop and think, why do I not like leftovers? And try to figure out how you can overcome that. Because leftovers they're the way to go, man. They save you money and they save you time. So I am going to keep going on this soup and I will be back when it's done. Okay, I am back. My soup is done cooking and it looks really good. I did end up cutting up a half of a zucchini, pretty small, and I added that in. And it's just nice to have something green. I know celery is green, but I don't know. It's just nice to have that little extra. I'm gonna try to show you without spilling. I don't know if you can see that. There's lots of rice. It's amazing how much cooked rice you get from dry rice. So this is a very nice amount of rice. With an E meal, we want to stick to 3/4 of a cup. This is long grain brown rice, and I'm definitely not over that amount on this soup. I feel like there's a nice amount of chicken. There's like going to be chicken pretty much in every bite. There's the onion, the carrots, the celery, and that zucchini. I think that this is going to be a really good and filling lunch. Good thing, because I'm going to be eating it a lot this week, but that's all right. Leftovers are my friend. So I am remembering to be grateful for what I have, grateful that I do have food to fill up my belly, grateful that this is an experiment that I can choose to do for fun, that I'm not actually in this place where I'm forced to do this. So I hope that this has given you some ideas. Soups are a great way to stretch your budget. You could do a soup, or like a stir fry is another great idea. Maybe I'll be doing that later. Those are both great ways to clean out your fridge, use up little bits of different things that you have in there, ways to use up vegetables that are kind of past their prime. So it's starting to get a little cool. Well, I think we're gonna have a couple more days of things being warm, but I think in the next, I think sometime this week, the high is going to be 61. I'm in Michigan, so things cool off pretty fast around here. So anyway, I'm going to eat my lunch because I'm really hungry, and I will see you back at snack time. My friends, you are not going to believe what I am making for my dessert. So this is going to be an S dessert that I am going to have 2 times during this challenge, and it is called protein pudding. This is a recipe that I found on a website called mariamindbodyhealth.com, and I will link it in the description box below. And basically, the base of this pudding is hard-boiled eggs. Oh my god, I have no idea how this is going to be. I know that there are several, or at least one person, I think a Trim Healthy Mama blogger, that has a pudding made of kind of soft cooked egg whites. Yeah, we're going to try it. If it's not good, I'm going to have to doctor it until it gets to be good, because this is 5 of my 12 eggs that I have, and I am not wasting this. And plus, it's some of my almond milk too. So I wanted to show you what I'm gonna do to make this. So I've got my hard-boiled eggs. Now, when she makes it, the recipe says to put the ingredients into a blender and puree until very, very smooth. But I thought this would be too small of an amount for my blender to do well with. So I decided to use an immersion blender, and I just made sure that I had like a wide mouth jar so that this would be able to get inside and go to the bottom. So I'm going to add my ingredients. So I've got my hard-boiled eggs, and she also says that you can use scrambled eggs. So this sounds a lot like the other recipe I was mentioning, but this would be an S because we're using the whole egg that has the yolk. I'm going to add in almond milk, but she says that you can use canned coconut milk if you want to, but almond milk was one of my ingredients, so that's what I chose to use. I'm going to use some confectioner sweetener. I just have the Swerve. Let's see, we've got cocoa powder. This is half of the recipe. Vanilla. Some cinnamon. And some salt. That's it. So put the blender in here and see what happens, you guys. Oh my god. Okay. It's gonna be loud. my finger on this and try this. I need to see if the sweetener is where I want it to be. So, and I did it, I mean, I really made sure that I made it, I mean, smooth. The last thing you want is to be eating pudding and come across like a hunk of egg yolk or something. So, all right, I'm gonna put my finger across this and try. Okay, okay. It's not bad. It doesn't taste like eggs. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a little more vanilla. And I am gonna add a little more sweetener. How much? Okay. Okay, this has potential, you guys. This really has potential. I'm like, all right, let me blend this again. So it kind of has the consistency of melted chocolate ice cream. I'm making my soup back here for my lunch, so I just want to stir this real quick. Kind of has the consistency of melted chocolate ice cream. So I don't know if this is going to get thicker as it sits in the fridge, but I'm making this, it's 11:14 right now in the morning, and I'm not gonna have this until probably 7:30 or 8 o'clock tonight. So I wanted to get it in the fridge and give it a chance to thicken up. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it alone and we're just gonna see what happens. So it's the jar's about this full, so it's a pretty decent amount. I may put this in different containers. Right now, like I'm only gonna have this twice, and so I'm gonna split it up and get it in the fridge. And then when I actually have it, well, I'm gonna do another video tonight kind of doing a recap of the day, and so I will definitely let you know if it thickened up and did I actually like it as a pudding. So I just wanted to show you, my protein pudding, so we'll see you in a bit. Hello friends, I am back for snack time, and I am having the same snack every day this challenge. So I'm just gonna show it to you one time, and then when I do the recaps in days to come, I'll just let you know that I had the same thing. So if you saw my grocery haul, I got this 32-ounce container of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. False alarm. So what I did was I took the 32 ounces and I divided it by 5, and that came out to 6.4 ounces. So I actually got out my kitchen scale and I measured 6.4 ounces of yogurt. I have that in this bowl, and I've used a little bit of stevia and some vanilla to sweeten it. And then I got a bag of frozen blueberries from the Dollar Tree. That was a 10-ounce bag. So I took that, divided it by 5, which is obviously 2 ounces each day. So I have 2 ounces of blueberries in this container, which actually is a fairly decent amount of blueberries. I'm kind of surprised when I was putting that, like when I was measuring it out, I'm like, oh, this is pathetic, but this is a really good snack. So that's what I'm gonna have all 5 of these days between lunch and dinner. I also wanted to show you my soup. As you can see, I've got 1 little jar, and then I've got 2 bigger jars of my chicken rice soup. This only needs to last me another 4 days. This is a pretty good amount. Actually, after I had lunch today, I was still a little bit hungry after finishing my bowl of soup. So I filled these jars, and there was a little bit left over in the pot. So I went ahead and ate what was left over in the pot. And so there's no reason why these 3 jars are not plenty of soup for 4 more meals. So I just wanted to show you real quick what my snack is gonna be, how much soup I ended up with, and I will see you back at dinner. Hello my friends, it is dinner time, and I have some, kind of proud of my creativity here. So I told you earlier that I was gonna do the roasted celery. Now I haven't tried it. Can you see this? Wait, where's my, get, it's pretty soft looking. It's got some like crispy brown edges on some of the pieces. Okay, then because I had a lot of zucchini left, I decided to attempt to make a zucchini fritter. I've never made one before, and I looked up like a keto recipe, and you needed an egg, which I was willing to sacrifice one of my eggs in an effort to see if this was gonna turn out. I'm really gonna be bummed if it's not good though, because that means I wasted an egg and zucchini. But you needed like Parmesan cheese, and you needed some almond flour. Well, I couldn't use that stuff. So I'm like, okay, what do I have that I can use? So I found some sun-dried tomatoes in my pantry. You guys, did I cheat? Did I cheat by using some of these? I mean, I would never just open this up and eat them. So I kind of thought that it was like a condiment, but I don't know. If you think I cheated, I apologize. But I was trying to think like, what is a binder? What can I use that is gonna bind this zucchini? So I used some of the sun-dried tomatoes. I had this seasoning mix. It's called black truffle garlic seasoning. So I put some of that in there. And then I used a little bit of xanthan gum, because that is actually, it's a binder, but I had no idea how much to use. So I just kind of sprinkled some in there. So I will say that they look good. They smell good. I have no idea if they're gonna taste good. So here's dinner for tonight. I have 4 ounces of chicken diced up, and I am going to use a little bit of this Primal Kitchen sugar-free barbecue sauce. I am going to eat half of the roasted celery and 2 of the zucchini fritters. Exact same dinner tomorrow. I will be having the exact same dinner tomorrow. So I'm gonna save half the celery, the other 2 fritters. I'll have another half of a cup of chicken. So we'll see. I feel like I got a little bit shaky around 4 o'clock. I really wished that I could have eaten something, but I did not. I am feeling better now, but I am very much looking forward to my dinner tonight. And I have to say that's kind of a nice feeling, because like I was saying earlier, I feel like I'm eating snacks too much and too close to meals. So when I sit down to a meal, a lot of times I'm not even that hungry. Well, guess what? I'm hungry and I'm ready for dinner. So that is what I am having for dinner. I'm going to have a snack later on tonight, probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then I will get on and do one final video for the day. And I will let you know how the dessert was and how dinner was. And so that is it for now. I will see you to wrap it up. Hello, my friends. I am back for the recap for day number 1, and also to try this. This is the hard-boiled egg pudding. We're gonna try that in a second. So first of all, let me brag on my sweet husband. Look what he brought home for me today. Have you guys made chaffles yet? Chaffles are amazing. They make a delicious pizza crust. So one of these days coming up, I'll have to make some chaffles, and you can do them sweet, you can do them savory. They are an S, and they are delicious. I have one of those mini waffle makers that just makes one at a time. This is gonna make things so much quicker and so much easier. And yes, I am in my pajamas already. I am a early to bed, early to rise type of girl. I'm lucky if I can stay awake till 9 o'clock at night. So I'm in my PJs, and you know what? It's all right. So recap of day one. Today went really well, I thought. Roasted celery, not my favorite. And I have to eat it tomorrow as well, which that's okay, because you know what? Sometimes when you have a really limited grocery budget, you have to eat things that are not your favorite. You know, everything that you eat doesn't have to be your favorite thing in the world. So I only have one more serving of it, and I will live, and it will be fine. The zucchini fritters were actually pretty good. I am gonna try reheating both of them in the air fryer tomorrow to hopefully get a little more crisp to them, and I think that that will be really nice. I may mess around with some zucchini recipes tomorrow since I still have a ton of zucchini left. So yeah, I think that today was a win. I had, you know, a couple creative ways to use up ingredients. My belly was full. I stayed on plan. What more could you ask for? So now I'm gonna try this. I will say it really thickened up. When I put this in the fridge, it was, I think I said, it was like the consistency of kind of like melted chocolate ice cream. And it has really, like, I can almost, like, that's how thick it is. So I'm just gonna, it's a good pudding consistency. Okay, I'm gonna try it. It's really good, you guys. It's really good. It doesn't taste like egg at all. I taste the cinnamon, which I love cinnamon, so that is fine by me. I taste the vanilla, I taste the chocolate. It's a really good pudding consistency. This is a win. This is a total win. I have one more night to have this, and I am going to be looking forward to that. So yay, that is awesome. You know from earlier that I really had my doubts on this one. So day number one in the books, everything went great. In fact, I would say overall even better than expected. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So this is Christy with Help for Your Journey, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day number two. Please like and subscribe this. I put a lot of work into coming up with this menu and filming all of my meals today, so I would love it if you would like the video, and if you would subscribe to my channel, that would be even better. So I'll see you tomorrow.